3, 2. Hey everybody, it's that time again. You're listening to Monkey Man and the Fat Boy. I am Fat Boy.
This is the Monkey Man.
All right. How you been, brother?
A little under the weather. It's about that time of the year
Yeah, it
where
is.
it changes.
I got the same voice.
Everybody's got that frog in their throat.
Yeah.
Itchy eyes, runny nose, mocos,
So you and I talked last time. We wanted to lighten the conversation a little bit. Start catching up with our past.
Oh, shit.
Before our pasts catch up with us.
I plead the fifth.
Do you remember the dog?
When Steve Solis lit the next door neighbor
Yeah.
dog on fire.
Yeah.
Little Billy Johansson's dog on
Yeah.
fire.
Throwing
Yeah,
a sparkler up
man.
in the air. That thing went up like a tinderbox, didn't it?
Man, that poor dog.
You could hear it.
Then we tried to throw a bowl of water. Steve tried to throw a bowl of water on him. His bowl
He
of
almost
water.
missed it.
And totally missed half
Yeah.
the fucking dog.
He just caught it. Just barely caught it. All you heard was...
Yeah, that poor dog, man.
I know. I look back on it too, and I'm like, dude, that...
And that dog was...
And how lucky...
Ugly, that dog was an ugly, fluffy
Yeah.
dog. I mean, it was like a cotton ball.
And I look back on it, and I'm like, man, what would have happened if we would have missed that dog completely, dude?
I feel bad, dude.
I know. I look back on it too, and I feel bad too. But it's like, we would have missed that. We would have missed it completely, dude. That dog would have been done.
Yeah, man, that sucked. Too bad that dog was an asshole, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if we could have just went over to him and threw a blanket on him or something like that, it wouldn't
Right.
so bad. But that dog wanted to bite every damn part of your ass.
Speaking of that dog, because it was
Wanna
on that
get you some
alley.
mail, man?
Yeah. Because it was on that alley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in that alley, remember those bikers were always there?
You talking about the Longneckers?
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
You
yeah.
talking about Sean Longnecker and all those guys.
Yeah,
Longneckers.
dude. They were professional bikers.
Yeah, man, those guys were BMXers, man. They
Yeah.
built that damn 8-foot ramp and shit,
Yeah.
doing shit. Silvis, I'm just saying this right now. Silvis, Illinois
Yep.
was the first X Games.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yep.
BMX was at the height of the
Yeah.
early '80s.
Because they didn't just have that ramp. They had
we had
that dirt.
Yeah,
the dirt.
We
Yeah.
had dirt trails and shit. Oh man,
Yeah.
we had it. Man, we had everything, man.
Yeah,
But
we
watching
did.
those guys do
We did.
shit, man. I'm talking like getting up in some air, dude.
You're talking about a gang full of people hanging out in this alley, man.
You talking about these white boys, man. I'm telling you what. But it was funny because they grew up in the neighborhood of Mexicans.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were cool as shit.
And there'd even be blacks in the street watching them, dude. You know, it's like everybody would stop just to watch.
See, but back then, man, you gotta understand.
It wasn't like it was today, dude.
Racism for us in the Quad Cities, I can honestly say, I'm sure there's gonna be out there people are gonna say different.
Yeah.
But I'm call bullshit on it or whatever because you're probably younger than me and that's your own opinion. But us, our age,
Right.
us 70s kids that grew up
Yeah,
through
yeah.
the 80s
Yeah.
and lived the 80s as pre-teenagers and shit like that. Yeah, man. I mean, you had Hero Street.
Mm-hmm.
You had you had a full-size basketball court.
Right.
Man.
Right.
I still can't remember which flags there were on that street. It was like Uganda and some other bullshit. Whoever painted those flags would have been high as shit. Fuck. Or Punch Drunk Love on some tacos or some
Right.
shit from Hero Street Jam or something. I don't know. That's another story. But, yeah. You'd have people come down, play basketball all freaking day, man.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, oh, well, come to our court. You
Right.
know, come to our court, talk
Right.
shit.
Right.
You know, and we'd watch our cousin, Tim Trugello and
Julio, may you rest in
Buddha
peace.
Munoz
Yeah.
and all those cats playing and shit.
Yeah.
Sierra
Because
Boys,
they had that
shit.
long bench along the side of the court.
Yeah, we had two long benches.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, you pretty much brought your team,
In that place.
you
we
know,
could have.
and you playing for blood, man.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, you played there. You went to Hertford Park. You
Yeah.
played basketball there.
Yeah.
You know, at the Hood.
Yeah.
Or you went to Silvis Park. And you
Yeah.
played up there in the tough
Home
tough
and away.
courts. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was home and away courts and stuff, man. But
There's
yeah,
something about those
but
days.
blacks, Mexicans,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Again, you know, we had at the bottom of Fifth Street, you know, we had the Longneckers, you know, that lived there for the longest time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, we had it all. We
Some
had
priceless
mixed-
moments, man.
yeah,
Priceless times, I mean.
We I was blessed.
Yeah. Yeah, we were
blessed.
blessed. Yeah, we were.
To grow up in a community so small but yet in a big place.
Yeah. Diverse.
That we had.
And we didn't think anything of it, you know what I mean?
At the time, no, because if you went to Silvis Junior High,
right?
Silvis School, that thing was huge, and it was packed.
Yeah.
I'm talking 50 kids in a classroom,
right.
Being busy and stuff like that. If you were lucky to play football, Silvis School had a Silvis orange, Silvis blue.
Yeah, I remember
team,
that. Yeah.
Hampton had their Hampton Hawks, who else? Kelowna had their teams.
Mm-hmm.
Moline had their team. I mean, dude, we had teams.
It seemed like a different time, man. I mean, obviously it was, but I mean, it doesn't seem like it's the same anymore.
Each high school had their own football teams and stuff like that. I mean, we were crushing shit, man. Crazy track and field. We had our own cinder track and shit. Still a cinder track.
Yeah.
The gully field.
Yeah.
I mean, Silvis Junior High now looks like a closet because they demolished half of it and it looks like shit.
Right.
And decided to build another school in East Moline.
Yeah, called Silvis. Yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody wanted in on that school, didn't they? That's what I heard.
Well, you know what? I would have to blame it on Rod Blagojevich and the Quad City Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
I would blame on the fail of that as well.
Well, he made a promise he couldn't keep. Well, I think he made a promise he didn't want to keep.
The money's there, and then also the money wasn't there.
Right.
But lo and behold, the money was there.
Right.
To build the new college on River Drive in Moline.
Yeah.
It went to that college. It went to the college.
Right.
And I was like, man,
the Western.
I've encountered numerous times at the time, the Jacob family and stuff like that, about that situation and shit, and been totally disgusted, it's a college. Whatever happened to No Kids Left Behind?
Right.
They got to get into kindergarten to grade school, from grade school to high school to college. That's the progression of a student, right?
Right.
And that money disappeared.
Yeah,
it really did disappear.
Right.
I mean, here he comes to Silvis. We gave him a Silvis Rocket T-shirt.
Yeah.
That motherfucker gave that shit back.
Yeah.
But I blame all of them.
Because he saw the cracks on the foundation, and he saw the school in the condition it was in. Now, did we jump the gun because of his word? Because I think we did, didn't we?
I would say that we had no choice.
Right.
Because there was money that was there that we had, and we had to spend it.
Right.
Use it or lose it.
Right.
Like that. And I think bonds were sold. I think a new TIF district. Did all that shit. The whole smoke and mirrors thing and whatnot. And then by the time you know it, it'd be cheaper if we build a school kind of deal, or whatever. It was stupid. It was just, the whole thing was just dumb.
Right.
And still doesn't make no sense today. So
yeah, it's funny because I talked to this person just recently, and he's actually related to you. And the reason I bring it up is because we went there and you were talking to the Jacobs and bringing it up and stuff like that. There's one person, bro, and I learned this because, as you know, I'm a freelance photographer, and as I was on assignment one day for I think it was Veterans Day, I happened to be on Hero Street, and this person, right, was talking, giving a speech about his street and his loyalty to his service, you know what I'm saying? And I'd never heard anybody speak with so much passion, dude. Honestly, from the heart, about his community, about his neighborhood.
You get that guy on this show and let him get down.
Yeah, and it was like, oh man, just so much conviction behind what he was saying, and to know that this person wasn't even thinking about politics, wasn't even thinking about putting his 2 cents or having a hand in it at all, but is talking about his community like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like, dude, and what hit me was once it became, because they wrote about him in the paper.
Yes.
Because this person who was writing it saw the same thing that I saw, and was like, dude, you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how
reading that article.
Yeah.
You know, before we even discuss who or disclose who we were actually talking
Right.
about, if you don't already know by this time, he does that.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
you
amazing.
lay down so much conviction, you know, because it's something that you believe in so much,
Right.
that you're just speaking from the heart, you
Right.
know, and your soul is just being poured out there and stuff like that, the way he does, you know, love him to death, gotta love him to death, and tip your hat to him and salute and everything else. Yeah.
But I mean, like talking like, dude, you know, not just this
Ask
neighborhood.
a question,
Yeah.
be quoted, but then feel like, damn, so are you trying to say you wanna, you know?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, talking about the neighborhood and talking about the street, like, you know, that fucking patch of oil on that cement is a part of me. Is, you know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, every blade of grass and every little mud puddle that's on the street is a part of me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Just speaking like in terms that you can't even. I mean, just to hear him talk, it's just like, wow. You know what I mean? And to know that there's no political ambition there, and he's just simply talking about where he came from and how much he appreciates the street and how much he appreciates his family and just and what it is to be from that street and to have served.
Oh yeah, and you know, and just like I said, just the way that he conveys, you know, what he puts out there, you know,
Right.
And voices his opinion and voices his past and in the future he would like to see and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
he's just a talker, you know, just a natural.
Right,
born
natural,
talker,
natural,
so
yeah, natural.
Yeah, but when you know when people say, you know, oh yeah, man, this is me.
Yeah.
You know, what's around me here, that's me.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. It's a part of
You can never leave it because it's always there,
Yeah.
because I'm a part of that. and
Right.
that's a part of me.
Right.
So it's, you know, I bled on every inch of this road.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I got scrapes here, scrapes there.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember running through the backyard of this. My skin was on that.
Yeah.
You know, I got beat up over there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So this writer wrote an article about him, and so it became kind of conversation online about politics and how you should see politics. Now, my wife's uncle put in his 2 cents about, well, you shouldn't vote for the name. You should vote for the person's beliefs, right? And I agree with that.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. Now, with that said, I believe in what this guy says. I totally do. And for him to be a person to be like, not about the political game or not about any of that, speaks more than what he goes out and says when he says it. You know what I mean? It's like, and I ran into him and I let him know, hey, you know, I may agree with this person's beliefs, but man, you got to do this, man. Like, you got to do it. Like, just because I really believe that somebody like that, who isn't interested and is that passionate about his community, needs to be the one with his hat in the ring.
Oh yeah, you know, and that's just something too. You know, it's hard, you know, because for some people, I'm sure it's hard because they don't want to put a division
Right.
from me to someone.
Oh yeah,
else,
because that's automatically gonna happen.
You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know that that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
and
for
stuff
sure.
like that. And there's certain people that just don't need that.
Yeah.
Don't need that, you know. But you know, and you can always say, man, I wish that person, you know,
Mm-hmm.
man, I would love to see him become an alderman.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him be a mayor. Or damn, I wish, you know what? I would like for him to represent this district, and I think that's what this district looks at and needs
Exactly.
and stuff like that. Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I like I said reading that, that article, and I was like, damn, bro, shit, you need help, bro.
I jumped on it too. I'm like,
You
hey, you
know?
ever need anything, you let me know, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just.
But we should get him on the show, man.
Yeah, for sure. And it's because, like I said, it's because of that. It's because here's a person who has that much love for his community and is having to be persuaded to run for something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to somebody who's on the opposite end and is like, well, I'm in it for me. You know what I'm saying? And all I got to do is play the role, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tell the people what they want to hear, and it's a totally, it's the opposite side of the coin.
Yeah, and that's so hard not to get into and fall into that hole.
Right.
That political clout.
Yeah.
Which it is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks.
I hear you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would like to go and eventually do that, but man, the more and more I find out and stuff like that,
it's like we both said, it doesn't matter what side of the room you're sitting on. It really doesn't.
Like I said, oh, hey, you're an alderman. Yeah, I just won this race. That's not, well, what are you gonna do next? And this was something I found out. Oh, I gotta go to Chicago for a couple weeks.
Right.
Oh, for what? Oh, I gotta do classes up there, and this is now like classes. What classes, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and again, politicians, they got to get all around you and stuff like that. And make sure, hey, man, you're an alderman now, so,
give a little, take a little.
You're supposed to follow these, guidelines.
Yeah.
And man, fuck that. And after I found that shit out, I'm like, what?
Yeah. It's a game, man. You know.
I mean, don't get me wrong, man.
Capo regime,
if you want to be
consigliere, what I'm saying?
You're part of the machine, the political machine, you know. And when they talk about that, it takes a little time sometimes, but eventually you get to thinking, damn, all I am is a fucking cog.
Yeah, it's funny because
I'm a cog in a clock.
Yeah,
if I don't follow this move to this move, the thing breaks. It don't work.
Right.
It's worthless.
Right.
This and that. But I'm chosen. I'm here. Or some of these guys helped me get this position.
Yeah.
So I got to follow.
Yeah.
Their way. Oh, man.
See, now I mentioned in the past how much I love Bernie and stuff like that. Now with that said, we've found out some things about the Dems lately, and I remember before anything was even said, dude, like when Bernie met with Obama, right, during the campaign and the election, as it was getting closer, and it was a reporter who dropped the bombshell on Bernie while he was sitting with Obama. That was planned. You know what I'm saying? Somebody planned on having that reporter leak in that moment. What do you think now that you've endorsed Hillary? And you could just see it on Bernie's face. Like, his face dropped, dude. Like he knew he had been played.
He had set up from the get-go.
Yeah.
As far as when making it through the first prelims, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Of, okay, who's really running? Oh, well, you got this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy.
The moves were being made. Yeah. And the second that happened.
Because it's just like anything.
Yeah.
Especially in a game of one-on-one.
Right.
Okay, who are we looking at? Man, I got my pawns right here. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
Right. Okay. And the way I see it, sometimes I look at the politicians and stuff like that, especially when it comes to elections for presidential. It's a chess game.
Yeah.
All these lobbyists and high-powered position donors are the pawns.
Oh yeah.
Now the pawns,
without a doubt,
the pawns are following other people.
Right.
So those other people might be like, say, the knights, or the rooks,
right.
or the bishops, before you get to the king and queen.
Yeah.
See, the king and queen, I think, is always the VP and the president.
Mm-hmm.
So that's who the king and queen are.
Right.
Now, in order for them to get what they want, they get what theirs, this and that. But that doesn't always mean that they're gonna follow that system or something like that, because there's gonna be a part where hey man, I'm the bishop, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I could purposely move here so you can get killed.
Yeah.
And have their agendas and stuff like that. But again, all these pawns, the lobbyists, the big money, Bernie Madoff, and his money,
the trading game.
The whole work because you gotta follow the money.
Oh yeah.
Follow the money.
Yeah.
And it leads you to everything.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that dictate everything.
Right. And we've talked about that. Yeah.
And when they said him when Hillary stole Bernie's platform.
Yeah.
And literally stole his platform and just changed it around a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, I in that moment when I saw it,
fuck.
when I saw it, I was like, you fuckers, like just like, dude, no, you did not, dude, like,
yeah,
it was in that moment that I was like, oh, it's over for Bernie, man.
But if you look at it now, the way shit's coming out for the Democrats and stuff like that,
it's coming out
all this shit out. During the time, so Hillary did do this.
And it's like, and that's when I realized, it's like,
that's where you go, damn, if you went back to this time.
Yep, that moment.
That's when this was already going on, or this just started ramping up.
But it was like,
already knew.
Yeah, but you kind of knew in the back of your mind, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, we already knew that, you know what I mean? Yeah, so.
But like, again, it was funny. I mean, this whole political thing is hilarious, you got people.
Oh yeah, it's.
Oh, I'm all Trump. Ha, fuck you. You see all these things, like in the last 2 days. Hey, remember this time last year, people?
Mm-hmm.
Hillary laws.
Yeah.
And the thing I'm thinking is this, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Had you not known that Trump was a Democrat back then.
Right.
As the Clintons were in office. And had you known that Trump donated money to the Clintons, during that shit.
Yeah.
You don't remember, you fucking dummies.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the greatest quote out of the fucking dumbest man in the world. Yeah, if I was running for president, I'd run as a Republican because those people are stupid.
And the funny thing about it is it.
And hey, it took the president.
Yeah, it took a man like that to just say a bunch of stupid shit for people to have the confidence to drive around with their truck holding a Confederate flag. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm biased to all that with the flag thing. And the only reason why I'm saying is this, because that battle flag is a battle flag.
Right.
Unfortunately, it just got mislabeled, being labeled with the Ku Klux Klan.
Do you think that these people think that?
The ones that are flying that flag?
Yeah.
No, because I got some diehard.
It's a different meaning when they're driving around like that. You know what I'm saying?
Let's put it this way: when I was in the Marines, shit you not, when I was living the very first time and only time that I lived in the barracks, and I was going through my divorce, I was sergeant of the guard.
Right.
So I was going around the two buildings that we were kind of in charge of, FC 550 and FC 555, the triple nickel. And we would go through there. And I would tell people, hey, what's up? Turn down your music, man. Where you at right now? Oh, I'm at 7. Turn that shit to 3. Turn it to 4. Right. Let's go halfway. Just be happy.
Right.
And running into rooms with 6 bald white guys,
right,
wearing jeans with red suspenders and rolled up pants, their jeans rolled up, with a swastika flag on the inside of their door.
Really?
And I was like, and I looked at that, I was like, holy shit! I'm thinking, damn, Mexican run, motherfucker. That was second deck on the triple nickel.
Right.
And four doors down from there was all the motor T people in the Marines. Well, they were mostly black.
Right.
No, man, turn that shit down. Ain't nobody trying to listen to damn rap, Come on,
right.
Turn it down. Oh, I told those guys down there, dude, they still got their flag out? Yeah, they still got their flag out, They all trying to get all Black Panthered up and shit. But, keep the peace, man. Keep the peace. I ain't trying to let you guys...
Right.
But that was in the Marines.
Right.
That was still there.
Yeah.
But the fact that They, this was the weekend. They knew that they were 4 doors down from one another.
Right.
Never had nothing, no fights, no nothing.
Right.
They mind their own business. I mind their own business. Because when it came on Monday, they all work together.
Right.
Or mechanics.
Right.
Or motor T drivers.
Right. That's what I don't get though.
Excuse me.
God damn, bro.
But then and then having friends from Texas, Louisiana, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and fly that Confederate flag, battle flag, that had totally different meaning of Southern pride. Not that it was tied to KKK.
Right.
Not that it was tied to the reason partly of the reason of why we had a civil war.
Right.
With slavery and freeing slaves and stuff like that. I mean, it was really not that. I mean, the ones that did, yeah, you knew that they believed in what the KKK believed in and segregation and all that. Yeah, you knew those people.
Right.
But the other ones that just had that flag flying this and that, it's because they were chewing tobacco, listening to the damn Grand Funk Railroad or what's that band?
Terrence Clearwater?
Well, that too.
Lynyrd Skynyrd?
Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
It's... I mean, if you want to tie things to something, fine then, man. I say we rid the world of Black Panther animals around the world.
Yeah.
Because the way what it stands for.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
Let's kill all the elephants in the world right now because it stands for a Republican.
Right.
Like, you want to kill all the fucking donkeys in the world? Then by all means, man, kill all the donkeys in the world because it reminds you of a Democrat.
Right.
I mean, see how stupid that sounds?
Yeah.
And then today, it's mind-boggling that you think that these younger kids and some around my age want to change history by eradicating it.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, hey man, I don't believe slavery ever happened.
Right.
Let's erase that.
Yeah.
Oh shit, then that starts a whole damn argument.
What do you think about the people who say, well, the Indians were here first?
Well, because the Indians were here first.
Right.
It's the people that say, oh, well, they weren't settlers.
Well, how does it, how, yeah, that's what I'm saying. How does that get erased?
And that's just it. It did.
Yeah. We did. But the thing about that is it's like, how naive are we? I mean, how naive are they, I should say, to just... We committed... You know what I'm saying? We committed the biggest atrocity there ever is. You know what I'm saying?
And it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like watching... God, it's almost like an endless battle with people that are just uneducated.
Exactly.
And
that's what it is, uneducated.
But
uneducation.
If not uneducated, you can have educated people, but are unwilling
to accept
or unwilling to listen.
Right.
And keep their mouths shut.
Right.
Because, I've seen 2 Irish guys go to battle over two black guys go to battle over slavery.
Right.
And who had it worse?
Mm-hmm.
And I was baffled.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, guys, black people were slaves too.
Right.
Hey, we're still slaves.
Yeah.
What were you talking about, Cecito? Well, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're speaking your fruit and vegetables right now in a modern day slavery.
Yeah.
And I was like, for $1 a day kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's still going on right now, dude.
Yeah.
I think the peanuts and the Snicker bar that you just ate was picked by a family of Mexicans.
Right. And some of those
that got paid.
Some of those families are some of them are working for free because they're being threatened. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter. That's their own fault. Hey, they can quit.
Yeah, they can. And then who's going to do that job?
They won't be able to afford anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heaven forbid your family might have to plant some fucking ground. Shit.
Right.
You might have to plant some food.
Now, what's shocking to me too is it's like some of these farmers who are actually paying when that stuff gets brought up, it's like, hey, no, you can't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to get workers like these. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen.
Oh, yeah. But jumping back to the Native Americans.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, you know. Yes, early settlers of America.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you go back in history and you try to follow what people believe and stuff like that, you know, these people were coming from Russia, Asia, Mongolia,
Mm-hmm.
you know, back then or whatever, you know, making their way down across the strait in Alaska, from Alaska to Canada, from Canada to the current United States of North America, Central America of North America, I guess you could say. And they weren't settlers. Yes, they were.
Right.
They had tribes.
Right.
They had territories.
Right.
You know, excuse me, and their territories were such.
Yeah.
You know, hey, from east of the Mississippi was, you know, this. You know, west of the Mississippi was Crow or Sioux and stuff like that. You know, did they fight? Yeah, they fought.
Yeah.
You know, what did they fight over? Well, sometimes they're just being dumbasses.
Yeah.
Hey, you're in my land.
Yeah.
You can't hunt my land.
Right.
Oh, they're trying to get buffalo. The buffalo's over here on your side of the river, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You know, they fought. Yeah. You know, were there rogue, you know, Indians and stuff like that caused that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, of course. You know, again, you know.
I mean, for me, the conversation falls mute when they automatically just disprove. I mean, just discount that. You know what I'm saying? When in all actuality, what we did was we committed genocide. Now look that term up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like read into that.
We almost totally eradicated. And I say we because unfortunately, you know, as an American, you know, it's crazy, you know, because we can't do nothing about it.
No.
I mean, and it's getting worse still today because it's still going on. Yeah. You know, with these corporations taking over their land and stuff like that to bring oil from Canada.
The pipeline?
Yeah, from Canada all the way down to south.
And we're watching it on TV. You know what I mean?
People, well, Luke, you know, it's jobs. Some of that bullshit, dude. It's a Canadian company that's hiring maybe 30 Americans.
Right.
Then that's it. Other than that,
and that justifies it.
And it's a traveling Canadian company that's building all the way down and that, and it's oil from Canada to Louisiana or whatever, and then being shipped out.
Yeah.
You know what we get? None of that oil.
Right.
That goes to a totally different fucking country.
Right.
We don't even get none of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how does that work?
Yeah.
Well, it's creating jobs and it's bringing money in. Okay, they're getting.
It's that lack of education that they're using for their defense.
It's like this. Hey, we're gonna put a train line through Silvis.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We're going from First Avenue, you know, or from the railroad train, Rock Island Lines back there. We're gonna put a railroad track from that all the way up straight up Fifth Street, across Fifth Street, you know, into the ravine up to there, to Silvis, this and that, to John Deere Road. And
it would be the equivalent of the saying, well, wait a minute, there's houses there.
We're gonna, you know, eminent domain.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna take all that shit away from you.
Doesn't matter what you say.
Here's your $10,000. That's what you're gonna fucking get. Cause that's what we believe your house is worth.
Right.
And by the way, Silvis, we're gonna hook you up because it's your town.
Right.
We're gonna pay you 15%.
Right.
You know, or 22% or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's something crazy.
Yeah.
I think the county gets actually the money. Excuse me, when it comes down to eminent domain.
Yeah.
And the county gets oh yeah, we'll give you 10%, 2%, and this and that, which amounts to $70,000 a year.
Right.
Just for this train track to go through. But we appreciate it, man. We blah, 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 blah. You want to do what?
Yeah.
Displace all these people, you know, displace natural habitat, you know, with animals and or prairie preservation and shit like that, and this and that. And, you know, the odds of something happening like spillage and stuff like that is going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a 0.5%, 2%, 50% chance you might have it or not.
Mm.
That's still something that was nothing before.
Yeah, right.
You know, and when they were building that pipe, they did have 2 spills up there.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah. Which is exactly what they were protesting about.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, we just leaked 50,000 gallons. Sorry. We'll clean it up. It's isolated.
Yeah.
You know? Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
You know? But again, and why?
Yeah.
Why? Why couldn't they put that pipeline up and around the Great Lakes and out by Maine or something out there on that side of Canada?
Right.
Why couldn't they just do that?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's stupid.
It's all about money.
Mm-hmm. You know, and again, you know, I believe Trump has money in that too.
Yeah,
as well.
he's got
But
his
again,
hands in his pocket.
The Native Americans, you know, still live in squalor,
Mm-hmm.
still live in shanties.
Mm-hmm.
No better than when we first got rid of them,
Right.
You know, and told them, hey, pack your shit up, man, you're out of here.
Yeah.
Here's your wasteland.
Yeah.
You know that they can't do.
Right. Literally, I mean, because that's what they did.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you can build a casino if you want. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
Hey, if you guys really want to, you know, if you're smart enough and you want to go to college, we'll pay for it.
Right.
You know, no ifs, ands, or buts. You know, it's
Yeah.
cool. You know, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's crazy.
It is.
You know, but by the way, hey, check this out. We're gonna set up some more casinos in your land.
Yeah.
You know, we'll give you 80%. We'll take 20.
Yeah.
You know, booze you guys up. Here's your free paycheck a month. You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna get it right back. You know, it's
Right.
crazy, dude. I feel sorry for you know, again, to eradicate.
Mhm.
I mean, seriously, I mean, they might still be here. There's still traces of the Native American Indians,
Right,
you know, if
right.
they have not that have made it out and you know, have families outside of all that reservations and stuff like that.
Right.
But the people that stay there or whatnot, that try to stay true or whatnot, to be honest, they're really not there. They've
No.
been so demoralized.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
and the little that they can hold on to, which is their culture, is awesome. It's great. Don't get me wrong, but that's it. That's
Yeah.
all they have.
Yeah,
Other
yeah.
than that, they ain't got shit.
Yeah. And
It's
it seems
sad.
like, you know, they've been
But
living
it's
their
okay.
lives.
But it's
yeah,
okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they've been living their lives low profile up until just recently. You know what I'm saying? When it was brought back into the spotlight, and still we chose to step on them. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
of course.
It's
Of course, you know.
it's unbelievable.
Standing Rock, you know, this that it doesn't. Man, it's gonna blow over in about 2 months. Don't worry about it.
Right.
You know?
Right. Exactly.
Wow, you sure? Yeah, sure. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, we'll bring something else up that's gonna take that away. You know,
Yeah.
we'll do some smoke and mirrors and
We'll make it
we'll
happen.
do this. Don't worry. You know, Trump's gonna start something with North Korea here pretty soon, so that's gonna take limelight of the news,
Yeah.
and they'll jump on that shit, and then they won't worry about this no more.
Right.
You know, yeah, about another month or so, we'll start a fire in the forest over there in California and let that shit burn for a while. That'll take the news away from us.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it is, man. It's again, man. It's the money show.
So with that said, we jumped to that because of the fact that we know this one person who's been given basically the green light by the community because of the way he speaks. And this conversation started because you brought up the interesting fact that it's not just about throwing your hat in the ring, but it's all these things that end up happening because of the process, the political process when you become a politician. Like you said, there's classes, there's the whole chessboard game that's brought out as a result of. Now, who are we talking about?
Earlier we were talking about Mr. Brian Munoz.
Mr. Brian Munoz of Hero Street.
Hero Street product, Hero Street pride,
Yeah.
Navy retired, 20-year retiree,
Yeah.
Navy SEAL.
Yeah. And I remember, bro, it was crazy because I was there to shoot pictures and I was there focusing on other stuff, and he was talking, dude. And at some point, it was the things he was saying that shifted my attention over to him, dude. The hairs on my arms stood up, bro. The hairs on my body. It's like, man, dude, like, yeah. And it was just like I found myself looking through the viewfinder, and then all of a sudden just turning over and looking at him, dude, and my jaw just dropped, dude. I'm like, wow, dude.
Yeah. If you were to publish some of the greatness that he portrays in his words,
right.
you know, his literary, you know, he's just the imaginary.
No, I gotta believe, that some of the same reasons that you're bringing into the conversation, he's also taken into consideration. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I think anybody that can move, you move one person,
right?
You can move thousands.
Oh yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that, you know, and he's one of those people, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell you, you know, you can if you were to read, if you were just to write stuff down and you just read, you know, and then you just read his background and see where he comes from, this and that, and you read that.
Yeah.
You can literally just close your eyes and you picture some dude that's 6'9".
Yeah.
Big, burly guy that's just a man's man. This is and that. Like, God damn, man.
Going back and listening to it back in the day.
Shit,
on the radio.
Lead, I will follow.
That would be the perception,
and be crazy, and then all of a sudden you open your eyes and you look and you see this small stature of a man that
looks at
that's done bigger and better than any other guy that was bigger and supposedly better,
right?
You know, but again, that's how we grew up.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody say different.
Right.
Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, don't let a man tell you you're a liar, still a cheat. You know, that's where I grew up. You know, that's how my dad told me. You know, growing up as a young man. It's like, don't give them reason to think that.
He is that example,
But yeah, you look at him and you're like, man, dude. You're the man. Man. You personified, bona fide, you know, and real deal Holyfield.
For sure. And that's what I meant. Like, it's crazy because before that article came out, I seen that. You know what I mean? It's like it's if you ever get a chance to go down to Hero Street on Memorial Day when he's going to speak, or you know he's going to speak.
Memorial Day, Veterans Day.
It's worth it just to go down and see him speak because it's like, man, he speaks from the heart, and it's nothing but 199% conviction.
Oh yeah, you know, like I said, you know, he's my hero. He's my cousin. You know, I can say he's my brother. He's my best friend. I mean, I look up to that man every day.
Yeah.
You know, and. It's crazy.
It
really is. You know, we share a bond, you know, because we both are in the service, you know. We both been on the same dirt, you know. We both chewed the same dirt and sand and everything else and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, utmost respect, you know, well deserved, you know, and hopefully we can get him on the show, man.
I mean, it's crazy because it's like, you know, and a lot of people, you know, have their reservations and hate the man because of what he did and the way he went about his presidency, you know. But like, you look at Obama as a speaker, dude. It's like, you know, the boy can speak, and it was like, you know, dude, it's like.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember driving Mr. Obama. Man, that's back in the day.
Did you really?
Wow.
Tell us your experience, bro.
That'd be another time. But yeah, man, we're pressing for time.
Yeah. No, and like I said, I mean, you know. Say what you will about the man, but go back and actually read or watch some of the things he said. The man could speak. When the same regards, man, you know, Brian can hold the candle to that. You know what I mean? It's
sure.
And you got to remember that he's speaking on such a smaller scale. He's talking about his community, his family, his street. You know what I mean?
But it's such a
it's
great. It's the grandeur of it, though. It's so much bigger. You know, it's crazy.
There's so much conviction to it.
Yeah,
listen.
I mean, there's been some past speeches that he's made and stuff like that, and named almost. I think Brian did name every 100 and some odd person, you know, that really grew up on Hero Street.
Mm-hmm.
or grew up with family that derived from Hero Street, you know, and are like, you know, like me, I mean, and my brother, you know, and and named us all
Right.
in his speech and say, hey, don't forget, you know, not only were these 8 people that we're here for today,
Right.
but let's talk about, you know, this person, this person, this person, and this person that are grandchildren of you know, Tony Pompa. You know, let's talk about this, and this person, which was cousins to this person, and yeah,
What Hero Street is really about.
Yeah. And it's crazy, you know, because yeah, for sure, man. I wore that Hero Street badge close to my chest, you know, when I served, you know, and definitely when I went to Iraq, you know, I'm like, man, shit, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, you know, I'm here doing.
You become a part of the story.
I'm part of that fabric.
Yeah.
I'm part of that thread.
Yeah.
You know, and it's awesome. It's a huge honor.
Yeah.
That I'll have the rest of my life.
That's awesome.
You know, or will be a memory.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I'm long and gone. You know.
Right.
And
right.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, we gotta get him on here, man. It'd be
yeah,
great, man.
For sure.
His stories are even crazier than. Yeah, shit. Crazy.
We're gonna tag him. We gotta let him know he's gotta listen to this now. Yeah. Now go on back over to the next street over.
Which way? 5th or 4th or 6th?
6th.
Oh.
Yeah.
Death Man Hill.
Yes. I remember. So the story goes that that hill was steep. And
prior to being repaid.
Yeah, and so I don't know what it was. I think I wanted to prove something or something, man. I just remember
we were racing down.
Yeah.
Who can get down to they're the fastest.
Yeah.
I believe, and who can have the longest, slam the brakes on the longest black tire streak or something like that.
We started off at the top of the hill, and we were coming down
up there by Old McKinley School.
Yeah. When I was pedaling like a madman. I remember that. I'm gonna. And then I realized, halfway down the hill, I said, man, if I don't stop, I'm gonna end up on First Avenue. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Yeah, Irby.
I learned a little bit of science that day.
The motherfucker flew.
Physics, yeah.
He flew. I think he flew in the air. Oh, I would say around 10 feet high, about 30 feet long, man.
It was that mentality. You're just going forward like that, and it was.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Motion equals PTSD.
Something, man. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I remember how lucky I was because my mom and my sister had gone to.
You went to the hospital.
Yeah.
You went to the hospital.
Yeah. They were at the bodega at San Luis, and you know, when I got up on my bike, I went off running.
Yeah, you took off running.
About
pain and.
Yeah, about midway through down that street, I realized. Well, no, I collapsed. I totally lost feeling in my legs. I was down. That was it. And just so happened that my mom and my sister come around that corner coming back from the store.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Through the alley.
Yeah.
Then you took off running. I was like, damn, that motherfucker got fucked up. Tucked and rolled. Got up, said, and then you ran home.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, man.
I was like, man, that motherfucker left his bike. I'm going to get his bike home.
I was in the hospital for about a little bit over a week. I remember they had to slowly kind of condition me back into walking normally. Dude, I was pissing blood for days.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was rough, man. I still remember the pain to this day. It was rough.
Yeah, just to let you know, he didn't win that day.
that day either, right? Yeah, no. So for those of the people who are listening don't know what Hero Street is, why don't you break it down for them?
Hero Street, USA. Actually, you need to pull up so I don't miss nothing. Because I'd hate to be that one. You don't want to be that one person.
Yeah. Yeah, especially you.
Yeah, right?
Everybody being like, you got it wrong, Luke. What up?
Right? Hero Street, USA was previously 2nd Street, Silvis. And First Street and Silvis is 19th Street and First Street. So it's the border of East Moline and Silvis. But as far as what Hero Street is, Hero Street was a small dirt road.
Yeah.
Of course, so it's being as old as it is,
Right.
being part of the Rock Island lines, just a immigrant town, basically. I mean, not Mexicans were not the only ones there, but there was, Irish families and stuff like that,
Right.
and all kinds of different families that were working at the Rock Island Railroad between East Moline and Silvis. And
a lot of these families too, before they actually were given land to live on, were living in boxcars down on the track.
Well, that's just it. Most of these early settling people in Silvis, like the old
Paisans,
before the Great Move, I guess you could say, because there was people living in boxcars by the railroad lines and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, as the city was developing and stuff like that, then Hero Street was, currently, like I said, at the time of 2nd Street, they were moving boxcars to that street.
Right.
And you to put one or two together to make a house and this and that. And I mean, rough times.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, they had jobs, 2 cents an hour kind of deal.
Right.
It's can't even fathom, that stuff. But
some of those boxcars, those houses that were turned into houses anyway, they had dirt floors.
Yeah. Dirt floors. Definitely dirt floors. The only time they ever, if you were lucky to have wood floors, it was because you were taking pallets from work,
right,
or something like that, or stealing pallets from work, I should say, or borrowing. They might have gave back. You never know. But it was like a shanty. It was like a shanty,
right?
Because it was after World War I already.
Yeah.
When this was going on and stuff like that, and but anyways. Hero Street. I mean, the history is really rich, but the reason why it's called Hero Street is because of the soldiers and veterans that came out of that one street.
Right.
Not all at once, but not all in one family, but as of
throughout the families that were living there.
I want to say, out of all the Hero Street families that we produce soldiers, whether it's Army, Air Force, Marines, Navy. I wouldn't doubt if we have a Coast Guard or two. I mean, now.
Right.
It's crazy that the number is, I believe, well over 100 now.
Right.
And but it all started with the eight soldiers that we commemorate on that street, and we got Claudio Solis, Frank Sandoval, Joseph Gomez, Johnny Munoz, Joe Sandoval, Peter Macias, William Sandoval, Tony Pompa, and those are the ones that were first initially to be honored.
Yeah.
And those families, because of them volunteering, not necessarily being drafted or anything like that, but volunteering to go in, and the commitment they made, not only to their country, they're pretty much adopted country if you want to think about it, because back then, if you weren't American, white born, then you couldn't really say that. So and won countless awards, were in different battles or the same battles and stuff like that all gave their life, and came from one street. It was kind of unheard of at that time, really, to be honest. I mean, you hear a couple stories and stuff like that, that family members, have all gone into the service. I mean, you got the Fighting Sullivans from Waterloo, Iowa, and so you got the other movies, stuff like that. But Hero Street, from being a Mexican community and being a heavily immigrated street, but producing over and over and over and countless. I mean, we've being part of my family, being part of that as well. We've been in almost every campaign, every battle.
It's something else, man. It is. It's something else.
From that point in time, from World War II, Korean War, Guadalcanal, Grenada, Vietnam, you know, then all the way up until Desert Storm, Desert Shield. You know, definitely Iraq, you know, the campaigns in Iraq and Afghanistan.
It's like it doesn't matter how far away you get from it, it just continues.
Oh, yeah, of course, you know, and it's a tradition, if not just, it's, I mean, you know, being a service member, being a veteran myself and stuff like that, following in the same footsteps as my dad and stuff like that, and my cousins and stuff like that, it's, and other family members, it runs deep. Especially in the community, because we've had huge respect, you know, out there. I mean, we've had countless books written, couple documentaries, a movie, somewhat of a movie, yeah.
Low budget, yeah.
They just did a documentary kind of movie not too long ago, a couple years back.
Yeah. Letters from
Hero Street. Yeah, I believe it's called. That won a couple awards.
Yeah.
From I can't remember if it was from Sundance.
It might have been. I remember it was something to that effect.
Yeah, I mean
Tribeca or Sundance or something.
Yeah, because there's Sundance, Tribeca, and then you got the one that's over there across the ocean. Their small one, indie films, I should say, independent films and stuff like that. But yeah, the interest has always been there to do something like that. I mean, we've always had many people fight for recognition on the national scale.
Right.
You know,
for sure.
Have that. I mean,
well, that street's been revamped, and you can really tell now.
Oh yeah, of course that goes back to when my Uncle Joe, Taranis was the mayor.
Yeah.
And got with some architects and stuff like that, and turned what used to be Billy Goat Hill.
Yeah.
Into a monument to honor those.
Right.
And by that time and everything, that it came to fruition as far as a plan to do so and whatnot, it went a little bit more deeper and said, you know what, not only just these 8, but everybody.
Right.
You know, everybody that just came from that street, you know, that might not have given their life, you know, but made the sacrifice to sign that dotted line and make the commitment to serve the country and make their family proud and stuff like that.
Now, what's cool about Billy Goat Hill for me is that, I mean, we grew up on that street, like we've mentioned in the past, in the park program, and just growing up playing on that street. We rolled down that hill and so many times. And I read the book, and there's parts of the book that talk about, you know, the men getting together, the Mexican men getting together, going on top of the hill, burning some fire, and just playing guitar, and, you know, just jamming.
Oh yeah.
So I never look at that hill the same.
Yeah, and that's just it. You know, again, it was 2nd Street in Silvis. You know, and at the time it was probably 1st Street in Silvis.
Right.
And and then all of a sudden you hear and you know, with progress and stuff like that, you know, going from south to north, I guess you could say that Silvis was progressing and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, back then, you know, it was countless nights.
Right.
They had nothing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Back then,
that's what it is.
There wasn't no really big movie theaters, drive-ins, and stuff like that. I mean, you're talking, you know, the 20s, the early 1900s, you know, and but to see that it was always as significant back then as it is now.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's Hero Street, USA. You know, it's.
And talking about 6th Street and what happened to me, aside from that, McKinley sat on top of 6th Street, and some of these boys went to McKinley, right?
Yes, yeah, oh yeah. McKinley School was actually, I believe, one of schools that was for countless little towns, you know,
right.
But yeah, excuse me. Yeah, gosh, I remember. Yeah.
And some of these boys were boxers. Some of them were
Oh yeah,
baseball players,
and
basketball
that's
players.
just it. You know, if you weren't, God, if you didn't play sports, you're playing music.
Right.
You know, if you weren't playing music, you were working and just working,
Right.
and trying to make things, you know, happen for your family and stuff like that. Because again, I mean, yeah, if you're lucky, you got a job with the railroad. That was pretty much the only job.
Right.
You know, yeah, John Deere came along.
But this was prior to, yeah.
And you know, Farmall and International and Caterpillar and all that stuff. But that was later on the rest. You know, you only had the railroad.
Yeah.
So your own entertainment was, you know, back then, like I said, you played either music or you did sports or you did both, you know.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, you go to the museum up there in Davenport. You know, they used to. I'm not sure if they do anymore. It's been a while, but they used to have one section of the Quad Cities, you know, local museum part, and Silvis had a very big,
extensive display,
play out for everything that we recorded. You know what I'm saying? As far as maybe it's just Mexicans. You know, we keep track of history.
Right.
And we had many pictures and stuff like that. And who'd have thought that we had like 100-piece orchestra band that was Mexicans?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
the church and
And it's crazy. People don't realize that and stuff like that. And you know, it goes back to my grandpa being a young. My mom's side, Louis Sierra.
Right.
And you know, he was a maestro. He was a musician that had his own orchestra and stuff like that as well. And yeah, man, our history runs deep.
Yeah,
deep, you know, and it's pretty cool, you know, to be a part of the family that's, well, being part of two of the biggest families in the Quad City area.
For sure, yeah.
And being a Sierra and a Torontos and stuff like that, so.
Yeah, we talk about my boy having to be careful when he's older because he just doesn't know who he's going to be running into.
Yep.
He's related to everybody. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Along with Hero Street, have you? Because I know that we grew up on Hero Street and we've heard stories of the past and stuff like that. Now, some of those stories included some dark stuff, which went hand in hand with apparitions and ghosts. Do you believe in that?
Oh, of course. I mean, but then again, you know, also as I've aged, and a fan of reading stuff like that, paranormal activities and stuff like that, and this and that. It's kind of funny how the stories that we heard back then, and reading books and stuff like that on subjects like that of that light, I should say, it's quite funny that same stories happen all around.
I know, right? Yeah. Well,
I think you're reaching with the La Llorona.
Yeah. I've heard stories like that from Hero Street. And the funny thing about that, the reason I ask is because
you had a cousin that had a haunted house.
Well, we lived in a house that was built by my wife's grandfather, and he insisted that the house was haunted because he built it with his bare hands. And that house was fucking haunted, bro. We had some crazy shit happening in that house. Now, I find it funny that it was right off of Hero Street because, I mean, to me, it feels like it's the land and not so much who built the house. But I also find it funny that land was there, and that was the land they gave the Mexicans when they gave it to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
why wasn't anybody living on that street? And then when Silvis decided to give them land, it was that land they decided to give them.
Yeah, but but again, it could have been worse. We could have went across the tracks to Eastmo.
In the other clubhouse.
Yeah, shout out to over there. You know who you are. Out there.
No, so like
y'all cats down there,
right
in the hood.
Yeah.
We'll get to that's another story.
Yeah, right. We'll have to bring somebody in to talk about that. Because I know a lot of people kind of like have their own beliefs and stuff like that. But am I right in saying if you're a religious person and go by the Bible and you don't believe in that, right? That it's kind of hypocritical, isn't it? Because isn't that in the Bible?
Well, see, that's just it. You know, that's a subject in itself, but it's always an easy win battle. You know, when it comes down to people, you know, and trying to be smart or anything. Excuse me, but yeah.
Somebody get this.
For somebody to say, "Oh, I don't believe in ghosts." Well, are you Catholic?
Right.
Yeah. You don't believe in the spirit?
Right. Right. Exactly.
That's pretty much the same thing, isn't it?
Right.
Dum-dum.
Right. It's basically saying you don't believe in the rapture. Right. You know, and the other thing is...
and then that's just it. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't. You know, I'm not going to waste my time on that.
Right.
It's an effortless battle that, you know, just... Okay, whatever.
And for me, another thing about that is, it's like I have a lot of people say, "Oh, well, how could you believe in that if you know, why are there, you know, why would your God like have so many people suffering, kids in Africa, or you know, have so many, you know, or the plagues, or why would he do that?" I'm like, well, he did put his son up on a cross and put nails in his hands and his feet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the flip side of that argument, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But moving along, what happened when we got the go-ahead from your sister, right, on Fifth Street, to go up into this house?
Oh, when we broke into Blue's house?
Yeah. What happened? How did that even happen? I remember, the story went, somebody came down and told us, hey, there's this house, and nobody's living in it.
Actually, I think it was Vic.
And the door's open. Yeah, the door's open.
No, the door wasn't open.
It wasn't open? What? How did we even get in there?
I think I opened.
It came out.
Allegedly, I fell through the window of this in-ground house.
Yeah.
And as I tried to get out and open the door, 8 of my cousins and friends and sisters happened to just come in the house.
Yeah.
That was totally left with toys and money and food in the fridge.
Yeah. Somebody came and told me, hey, this house is open, the door's open and nobody's living there, and you know, there's toys there, and automatically, like when they said toys, I was like, oh shit, let's go. So I went up, I remember, and then I remember being in the kitchen and seeing some change on the counter. I was like, wow, these people moved out. They left their dishes. They left some money on the counter. They left their furniture. They left their TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seemed awkward to me, man. And then,
it was, I mean, that nice. But it was cool. It was our friends, though. House. Blue, Delaney, and what was his other brother?
Oh, I thought it was Quillen. Okay.
Blue Quillen and Delaney Quillen.
Okay, yeah.
So if you're out there, listen, man. Hey, dude, check out, man. What's up, bro?
We broke into your house when we were kids, yo.
Yeah, sorry about that. We had fun playing with the styrofoam airplane.
Yeah. I remember you coming down and saying, hey, ditch this. I remember you were the smart one because you came and gave me everything. So by the time people got busted and it was all said and done, we still had all
that. It was funny because we got busted by the police, man.
Popo.
Popos came out.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that. I think they were saying that literally Popo was the one who drove by and saw us all coming down the hill, coming out of the house.
So, you know, I'm making, long story short, we didn't get in trouble.
Right.
We were told to return shit that if we took anything. Yeah, we didn't.
It was already stashed.
We already spent all the change at Mr. Fresh by that time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Shit, man.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. One of many houses that I allegedly had broken into at that time of my age. Ahead, man.
Moving on to the final subject, we're going to have our first giveaway. Luke, who won the 2017 World Series?
2017 World Series.
Now, as I mentioned before, I'm a freelance photographer. I had the privilege and the pleasure of being able to take a picture of Carlos Correa when he was a River Bandit. Now,
one of 8 River Bandits that were on the 40-man roster for the 2017 World Champions.
Now, when we're saying the River Bandits, We are the affiliate to the Astros. We're the farm league for the Astros. So as they climb the ranks, eventually, if they make it, if they got the chops, they're going to become Houston Astros. And now, as Luke said, one of 8 that were on the roster for the Houston Astros this season. That's remarkable.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, because Carlos Correa won the championship here for the Quad City River Cats in 2014.
MVP. MVP. Yeah. And it's crazy, bud, because I'm telling you, bro, my dad was a big Cubs fan. You know what I'm saying? Your dad was a big Astros fan. Cubs win. Next year, the Astros win. You know what I'm saying? So props to the heavens.
For sure.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be giving away one 8x10 of Carlos Correa hoisting the Midwest League championship trophy. All right. Now, in order to win that, you're going to have to go to our Facebook page and read the rules on there, and I'll give the rules to how you can win. It's going to entail having to go to our YouTube page and subscribing, but there's one question from our first episode that I'm going to put up. Okay. I'm not going to disclose it now. You're going to have to go to our Facebook page to see what the question is. It's going to entail something that Luke mentioned on the first episode. Okay? So to win this 8x10, go to our Facebook page, look at the rules and the question, and you may be that lucky winner. All right, brother?
Rock on, man.
Yeah.
Signing off today.
Yeah, take it easy, y'all. Go to our Facebook page. You can email us now at monkeymanandfatboy@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe now. Go to SoundCloud and listen to the show, or to YouTube. You can listen on both formats. You got anything to mention, bro?
Yeah, and one last thing. I just want to say, again, tomorrow is November 10th.
Yeah.
United States Marine Corps birthday, 242 years. If you know a Marine, give him a shout out, give him a hug, give him some love, or her some love or whatnot, make love, shit, I'm always a fan of the, sleep with a Marine, show him your appreciation, he died, served your, served the country for you. Why don't you do some service for him or her, Other thing is Saturday, November 11th, Veterans Day.
Yeah.
For the people out there that want to and believe in taking a knee on football games, baseball games, hockey games, and all this and that, do me a favor. You take a knee on Veterans Day, bow your head, and say thank you. Give a hug to a veteran, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Boy Scouts, whatever, man. Show some love.
Show some love, exactly. One love. One love.
That'd be it for
me. All right, man. We'll see you guys next time. Chunky Bananas, we're out.
Yeah.
Sauce.